Today we are doing one of my heroes, one of my most favorite people in the world, Anne Frank. Her full name was Anneliese Marie Frank. And even though her hiding place was in Holland, they originally are German, and their dad served in the German army and he became a businessman. So we're gonna get started on this wonderful girl. So we're gonna start with a circle. Just do the top of the circle, just because her face is very long. She had a very long face. That was her style. Okay, so you could go into like a full circle here, but we're gonna bring this down. And we tilted her head. I kind of combined a couple pictures and made my own version of Anne. So now we have her jawline coming down, and then her jawline here, and then she's going to have a chin down here. It was like a prominent chin. Okay, so down here we're gonna make a line down the middle. Try not to draw that too hard. It's kind of the middle. Kind of went over a little bit, and then make a line across the middle. Okay, so that is her at an angle. So we're gonna do her eyes on top of here. So what do we know about her? She was born June 12th, 1929 in Frankfurt, Germany. Okay, so we're gonna do an archway. This is for her eyes. Piece right here, and then it's gonna come down. You're gonna do the same thing on this side. Go up and over. Before you get to the end, we're gonna bring it down, and then do the inside marks. Now, she's looking over that way. Anyways, the pictures that I've seen of her, she's smiling and happy. I've read her book. I've been to the Anne Frank's house in Holland. And my daughter was in the play, and so I really admire everything about this girl. Okay, so those are her pupils. And on top, we're gonna give her archway. Okay, and she does have a very prominent line down here, but we're not gonna Sharpie that in, so I'm just gonna erase that for now. We're gonna do that when we color, so it's not so there. Okay, so for her nose, so we're gonna do her eyebrows across. In her younger years, she had smaller eyebrows, and of course, as you get older, they can become more bushy. So now we're gonna put these on top, and hers did. And right now, bushy eyebrows are popular. And then eventually you can be putting in some hairs. Bloop, bloop, bloop. If you do want to make the eyebrows a little thicker, because in her older years, her eyebrows were thicker. Okay, so she died February 1945 at the age of 15. So we're gonna do her nose is gonna come here, and then she's got her nose, let's do a jelly bean there, but it actually comes down like this. And we're gonna make it come over. So I am going to erase this T-bar here, and we're gonna move on. What else do we know? So Adolf Hitler was blaming the Jews for all the German problems. And so Otto moved his family to Holland. He thought that would be a safer place. And she was small. I think she was like 4 when they moved there. So this is before all that super craziness happened. Okay. And oh, let's put some eyelashes in her, because she's looking a little, needs something here. So she was in Holland for a while. She had to learn how to speak Dutch because she was from Germany, but she made lots of friends. She was very social. Everybody loved her. She was one amazing girl. Okay, she looks so cute. Okay, now we're gonna do her smile. The pictures I've seen, she's always smiling. I can just see her. I'm sure being in the secret annex kind of took some of that spark away. I mean, as you can read, it was hard. So that's her little smile, her crease lines. And if you want, you can just put in some little nostrils right here. Okay, and now we've got a bottom lip and a little bit of a top lip, but we'll just mostly just color that in. And her teeth were slightly crooked. I think she had like a little buck teeth there, but she was so cute. And then we're gonna end up just sharpening this in there. So Anne's father spent months, because he can see what was happening, because they were capturing all the Jews. He can see that something was wrong. Okay, so now we're gonna do her where her ears are. So right around where her nose is, boop, boop, we're gonna be putting her ears in. So he had an office, and so what he did was he built a secret annex. Oh, here comes the sun. All right, so that's a little piece of the ear. We're gonna be covering some up with hair. Because he knew what was coming, so he built, we're gonna do the hairline. So I want you to just come right here. We're gonna do her side hair. It's gonna go into like a clip here. And then we'll do this one too. And we're gonna come up, bring it up about here, and bring it up and over, and then we're gonna put a little clip in there. And this will go up and over. So he spent many months creating this secret annex, and it was above and behind the store. It was behind a bookcase. So if you go to Holland, and you had to go there, you get to go up and experience what it's like. There's nothing really in there, but it's an amazing experience, and you can kind of picture what it's like. And when she was 13, she was given a diary. And she wrote in it every day. And it was just her regular life, what they ate, what they talked about, female stuff. She talked about all of it. Boys, because there was one boy, I think it's pronounced Peter, was in the annex. And I mean, you gotta think, she was a budding teenager, you know, they like boys. Okay, so now what we're going to do, oh, the sun is popping out. We're gonna, well, let's do its neck first. So right on the side here, we're just gonna bring this down. This is where her coat is. And bring this down on this side. And I'm gonna put her coat in there. Let's do this side. And the only thing that was left when she died, the people that were helping kept her diary, and after World War II was given to Otto, the dad, and 2 years later he published it into a book because he wanted the world to know what happened, because this is tragic. Anyways, now we're gonna do her cute hair. She always had kind of like shoulder length hair. Back then, like they like to curl it. I think they put it like in, it was called, what's it called? Rags. And they'd roll them up, sleep in them. We're gonna put some cute hair flinging out. And then when you do Sharpie, we're just gonna fling some hair out. So we get some cute hair popping out here. Bling, bling. Some little hair wispies up there. Maybe some down here, just to make her look more live, you know? And then we're gonna make her hair come down like this, so we can erase some in there. It's going up, so we've got hair coming down. Let's see, she liked to read, play table tennis, and write, because when she grew up, she was going to become a famous writer. And guess what? She became a famous writer because Her diary has been published in around the world, many languages, millions of times. So without her knowing, she became a famous writer. So now I want you to erase just a little piece in there. I guess I probably should have put more in there. And this is, because that's where the collar is. And we'll put designs in there after. Put a button in there. If you want to put 2 buttons, you can. All right, so what are we going to do next? And then I think in some of them, she kind of had slight dimples. So I put those in there. We're going to thin Sharpie, thick Sharpie, and I've got more fun facts for you. Yeah, that works. Let's go. Now I'm going to go around the outside with my thick Sharpie. Now I'm going to erase. Okay, I'm going to go color her whole face peach. Okay? Actually, I'm going to do half of her. Okay, so we'll just do half. I'm coloring her whole face peach. What do we know? Okay. Oh, this was interesting. So the workers that worked in it, they had a deal with the dad, and they would help get them food, and if they need some clothes or anything they need, they would ask his workers. And they during the day, because there was people in the warehouse that didn't know they were up there, they couldn't flush the toilet, and they had to be really quiet around the house, which, man, that would be so hard. It was like a little apartment up there. You had to be quiet. Okay, so we colored it all peach. Now I'm gonna, oh, don't forget the neck. So now I'm gonna press a bit harder around the edges. And the ears. Ears are always darker. The nose, under the nose. But we are going to come in there with tan. So let's get the tan in there. So this one had shadows. So on the 4th of August, 1944, Nazis raided a hiding place. Okay, so about this hiding place, it wasn't just their family. So it's the Otto and the mom. We're going to do a little around this. The dad and the sister. Let's see if I pronounce her name right. Margaret. She was the older sister. The perfect older sister. And they had couple other families. There was another couple with a son. It had Peter. They kind of had a crush on each other. And then there was this other couple. I think he was a dentist, if I recall. I don't think I liked them. They kind of fought a lot from what I remember. And they all had to share space. Oh, she loved to put pictures of movie stars on her. She would glue them on her wall by her bed. She really liked that. She loved movie stars. So I'm just gonna color a little harder. What else do you know? Oh, there was a cat. Oh, they had a cat in there. So she'd play with the cat. And so on August 1944, the Nazis raiding the hiding place, and they were taken to Westerport. It's a Jewish camp. That was their beginning stopping ground. And they were all separated. She got to stay with her sister. And then they moved to Poland, Auschwitz, the Jewish concentration camp. I've been to a concentration camp. Haven't been to Auschwitz. I went to another one. I have to remember what it is. So I'm just going to give it a little bit more color around the nose. And I'm going to give it that like a little dimple right there. Ding, ding, ding. And more shadow under here. You know, we're gonna put some color in here, but first let's do her eyes. So she had, from the pictures, it looks like, when they're black and white, it looks like she has like chocolate brown eyes. Oh, I have both browns. So we're just gonna take brown, and I'm pressing harder here, and as I come down a little lighter, just not so hard. Same thing on both. Oh, that makes such a big difference. So they got separated, then they were sent, and then her and her sister were sent to Bergen-Belsen concentration camp. And this is the sad part, is they didn't have a lot of food, they weren't fed a lot, there was a lot of sickness in the camp, and in the end they think that her and her sister died very close in time to each other with typhus. It's like a disease. Okay, we're gonna give a shadow in here. So just very lightly put a shadow. And guess what? It was only a few months before the war ended. They didn't make it. Anyways, in the end, only the dad, Otto, survived. Can you imagine having to go back and like everybody's dead? It's tough. Anyways, but she will live forever in books. So let's do her eyebrows, just coloring them brown. I think from pictures, because it's all black and white, she had dark brown hair. So I kind of put some black in there too. And we're gonna take some of this brown and give it more of a shadow in here. We definitely need to put some pink in there. Let's give it more shadow down here. Anything else I can remember? My daughter in the play, she played the older sister. It was pretty awesome. Okay, maybe shadow into here. Let's give it some pink. She needs some life to her. Pink on the cheeks always brings out life. So we're gonna give it some pink cheeks. She probably didn't have makeup, but I'm just putting a little color in here, a little color in there. Yeah, get her some color on her nose. And I'm going to give her color on, she needs more color on her cheeks, lips. To the top lip. She needs more color in her skin. Yeah, it looks good. And I would say just keep coloring it until you get it right, just how you want it. Coming in here more with tan again, more contrast. Anyway, she was an amazing young lady. And they had to keep their windows closed. And every once in a while she would try to peek out and she'd look below. See the world going on around her, and she's stuck in the hiding place. I think from what I can remember, they ate a lot of cabbage. Ugh, I don't know if they probably boiled it. Yeah, I don't know if I'd like that too much. I mean, I think that limited is whatever the people that were smuggling in food can get their hand on, because everything was rationed at that time. So you're gonna get regular brown again and do her hair. So you're gonna color the whole thing brown. You can color the whole thing. I'm just doing this. And I did see pictures of Otto, the dad. He's so darn cute, and I can see a lot of her traits in it. So just keep coloring it. I think I put it over with light brown, and then I came in with black, and I just gave it some undertones. And light brown I did for the jacket. I remember my mom, she lived, I think she was born in 1932, 33, and she was alive during World War II. And she remembers, because she lived in Los Angeles, California, they'd have to black out their windows at night, and people would come around and check to see And you're like, well, why would they black them out? Well, it's because back then they didn't have surveillance and stuff. They would just fly over, and if the bombs could see a lot of, they'd look for the cities. If they could see a lot of lights or any lights, then they would start bombing. So LA at night, they would have blackouts. And so you have to put blacking out your windows. So there was nothing left in them till they were dark. She was small, so she doesn't remember much, but she does remember blacking out her windows. And in the annex, they probably had to black out the windows so nobody knew they were living in there. They did have a scare. They used to like to sneak down and listen to the radio, which you're not allowed to have radio, but they would listen to the radio. And one time, I think a burglar came in and scared them all. And they thought they were gonna get caught. So they had a couple of scares. So they want to know what was going along in the world. Okay, I just gave it a nice little cute plaid outfit here. I don't know if she had a plaid outfit. I just thought, you know what? I bet she would look cute in one. And then I'm just giving it. There we go, there's my plaid. All right, I think you can finish this, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.